So today I'm going to go through how to do our 3 different views of the horse leg. The first view that we're going to do is the lateral medial view. The second view is going to be the dorsal palmar view, and the third view is going to be the DMPLO, which stands for dorsal medial palmar lateral oblique. The area of interest for all 3 is going to be the pastern, which is this part of the horse's leg. First, before we go over how to take each view, we're going to talk about what you need to do in preparation of each view. So first we need to start with our personal protective equipment. We need to always have our dosimetry badge on us. We can do things such as our lead aprons, our gloves, and our thyroid shield. Gloves can be a little bit bulky, so those aren't always used, but thyroid shield, lead apron, and our badge should always be used. Some helpful things that we can have for taking radiographs is specifically on the horse legs is Play-Doh. What we would do with it is we would pack it into the horse's hoof underneath, and that would protect us against shadows forming in our radiographs. The Play-Doh is radiolucent, and those shadows would come from the frog in the horse's foot. Next is we would use a digital receptor holder. There's many different types of those. There's handheld devices such as this one. There's devices that stand up on their own, and those are used so that you don't have to stand close to the x-ray beam. You can practice a LARA. And then what we can also use is a hoof block, and this will allow the horse's leg to be elevated off the ground so that our digital receptor can come below the horse's leg and line up with our portable machine, which will be this. Next is patient preparation. What we always want to do before we take an x-ray is we want to make sure we have a clean, dry surface. So if they have mud on their legs, we want to make sure that we brush that off and make sure that we have a nice clean surface to prevent having to take extra radiographs. The next thing is restraint. So there's 2 big forms of restraint that we use with our horses while taking radiographs. The first one that we would go to is physical restraint, which would be halters, lead ropes. You can even use twitches, things like that, whatever the horse is going to tolerate. You want to use the lowest restraint needed, so if you don't need to go harsher than a halter and lead rope, we're going to stick with that. If you need to bump it up a little bit, you can move to chemical restraint, and that would be sedation. All right, so first, after that, we're going to go into the anatomy of the leg. So we're going to do everything on the front leg. So the terms that we're going to use for the front leg is the front aspect with the carpus right here, and below is going to be the dorsal, which is the front side of the leg, and the back side is going to be called the palmar side. On the back leg, it's going to be different, but we're just going to focus on the front leg. So here we go. We're going to get into how to take the views. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the lateral medial view of the pastern. And first, before we can take the radiograph, we need to make sure that we adjust our machine and its settings. So how we're going to find our settings is you can either use formulas or you can use a technique chart that a lot of people have different ones developed. You can find them online, in books, different things like that. We found one online, and it has a bunch of different parts of horses. It has carpus, fetlock, and then our area of interest, which is the pastern. So you just go through. It has it even has our different views that we want on it. For each view, ours are actually going to all be the same. We're going to do 74 kVp, and MAS is going to be 1. But if we were doing a different area of interest, such as the fetlock, we would need to go in and maybe adjust things a little bit. So you can look at that. So the first view we're going to take is the lateral medial view. The reason that this is called the lateral medial view is because the beam is going to come in the lateral side of the leg, and it's going to exit through the medial side of the leg. So we're going to use this as our little demonstration tool. Like this one. So this piece of paper is going to be kind of our digital receptor, and then this is going to be our x-ray, our portable x-ray machine. So we have all of our PPEs on, our horse's leg is clean, the x-ray machine is set, everything is ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our horse up on a hoof block so that our digital receptor can reach underneath. We'll just use this. have them up on a hoof block like this. You generally want to have both feet up on the block so that the horse is steady, and you're not going to have any kind of distortion. So what we're going to do is we'll have the digital receptor behind on the medial side of the leg, and we're going to be taking our picture from the lateral side. Now the source image distance, which is SID, is about 26 to 30 inches for large animals. So our X-ray machine would be about 26 to 30 inches back, and our digital receptor will be right behind the leg. You generally want to have it, you do want to have it perpendicular to like the ball of the leg of the horse. This is our area of interest, which is the pastern on the horse. We're going to pretend it's right there. So what we're going to do is we'll have our digital receptor. Either someone would be holding it with a lead glove, which is not our first choice, but we would normally have a cassette holder or something like that. So we would stand over here. We would have our receptor machine here, 26 to 30 inches. Our X-ray beam would be focused right where the coronet band is. That would be about where you want to center the beam, and then you're going to take your shot. So that's how you do a lateral medial of the pastern. The next one we're going to do is a dorsal palmar view. So this one's a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to go through, the reason it's called that is because we're going to go through the dorsal aspect of the foot first with the X-ray beam, and it's going to come out the palmar aspect of it. So what you'll do is you're going to have your X-ray machine in the front of the leg like this. This will be our X-ray machine. And you're going to have your cassette back behind here. And again, you're going to have that 26 to 30 inches. Our area of interest, again, is the pastern, and we're going to center our X-ray beam right where the coronet band sits again. That's going to kind of be where our focus point is. So if this were our leg, we'd have our cassette. Woo! We would have our cassette sitting right back like this behind our horse, again with our manual cassette holder or one that stands up on its own, and then our machine again would be up here, and we would take our picture. And that's how you do a dorsal palmar of the pastern. The next one is we're going to do is the DMPLO. So this is the dorsal medial palmar lateral oblique. So this is going to be kind of a catty corner. What we're going to do is I'm going to actually just exchange for this one because this one will give us a better indication. So the orientation is going to change. So this is now going to be the medial side of the leg. This is the lateral side. This is the dorsal side, and this is the palmar side. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in through the dorsal medial part of the leg, and we're going to do like a 45-degree angle between the dorsal and the medial aspect of the leg. Would actually be this side. So 45-degree between the dorsal and the medial aspect, and then it's going to come out 45 degrees between the palmar, lateral. No, just kidding. It's this way. It is this way. So you're going to do the dorsal because this is the dorsal aspect. So it's going to be dorsal medial, and then it's going to come out palmar lateral. So what we would do is we would have the digital receptor back here like this. We're going to be shooting the X-ray beam in, again, through the dorsal medial portion. So it's 45 degrees between each one. This is the medial side of the leg. We're going to take our X-ray machine. Don't drop it. That's $40,000. And you're going to take it, and you're going to hold it right like this. Again, 26 to 30 inches. And then you're going to take your picture just like this. And I think that's it. We're done.